Hello students, here's a really brief video about being brief. In these 2 weeks we'll discuss brevity, that's the noun from the adjective brief. So I thought I'd lead by example and make a really short video. But it's a lot harder to be brief than chatting on and on. That's what being long-winded means. Well, let's start with why brevity is important. We're totally overloaded with information, demands, requests, reports, and pictures of someone's dog. We all seem to have so much to say. However, this is a class about business writing, not about your Facebook feed. If you want to get your point across to these busy people, you had better get right to it. Yes, the quote on this slide is well known and frequently used. Blaise Pascal said, although he said it in French, something like, "If I had had more time, I would have written a shorter letter." Because writing a shorter letter would mean he would have to think about what he was writing. Do you ever find yourself just putting your fingers on the keyboard and typing whatever comes into your mind? I'm certainly guilty of that. Does your office look like this? Mine does, at least sometimes. I read on the screen, I print it and waste far too much paper, and frequently I feel like canceling email altogether. In fact, is email dead? I do think it is for personal communication. I don't know any students today that use email to communicate with friends and family. They text, Skype, tweet, and send Instagrams. But in business, email isn't quite dead yet. So whether we like it or not, we have to deal with it. There's a caveat, however. A caveat is something you should pay attention to. One mistake that novice employees often make is to shoot off an email asking someone to do something without first letting that person know what it's about. That's what I mean by setting the stage. The person getting the message cannot read your mind, unfortunately. That person thinks, how is this relevant to me? What am I supposed to do with it? And when do I have to do this? If he cannot answer those questions right away, he will generally just ignore it. So what happens to too much information? Yep, that's right. It goes straight to the garbage. Haven't you heard someone say, "No, I didn't get your email"? Sure, he got it. He just ignored it. From the newspaper business, we have the concept of below the fold. This means where the newspaper is folded in half. An old saying is that no one reads below the fold. So make your message brief and to the point, but make sure the reader knows what he's supposed to do with this message. In conclusion, Ernest Hemingway once said that he could write an entire story in 6 words. His friends bet that he couldn't. He grabbed a piece of paper and wrote the words on the screen. For sale, baby shoes, never worn. People interpret this in all kinds of ways. Most people say, "Oh, how awful, the baby died." Others say, no, the baby didn't die. He just grew so fast that he didn't need those shoes." No matter what, it could be a good story. Hemingway won the bet. So now let's see how brief you can be in telling your story. I look forward to seeing your nice and short messages in the assignment this week.